I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Andrew. I'm Emily Pilloton. I'm the founder and executive director of Project H Design. And I'm going to tell you about what that is in a minute, but I want to start by giving you a little background about how I came to work in this space of design for social impact. I have a degree in architecture and a degree in product design. And about 3 years after graduate school, I was working as a store designer, store architect, for a pretty big retail clothing company, one of the biggest stores all over the world. And I found myself in this meeting. It was a really, really long meeting. And we were talking about doorknobs, about which doorknob they should spec for their dressing rooms. And this was my aha moment. This was when I really realized that design had become very misguided. And that design, I thought, was about problem solving, and yet I wasn't getting to look at any of the big problems. So I quit the next day, and I never looked back. So Project H, I founded as a nonprofit in January of 2008 as a result of this personal call to action. And at the time, I was living with my parents. I had no money and almost no business plan. But I wanted to work on things that mattered, and I wanted to give an opportunity to other designers to work on things that mattered. So the idea from the beginning, the goal, was to connect this power of design to the people that needed it most and the places where it could make a real and lasting difference. So 21 months later, we have assembled this design army of about 300 designers all over the world, working in 9 different chapters, 6 in the US and 3 internationally. And we have 22 current initiatives. And these are everything from foster care to homelessness and education. They're very simple and thoughtful solutions that I've had the privilege of being involved in every single one of them. They're rooted in design thinking, but they're very simple. So we also have figured out a specific process to how we approach these initiatives. And I want to share with you a couple of key values and components to that process. So the first thing is fairly obvious, but we start at the beginning and not with the result. So we don't go into projects saying we're going to design an awesome product. This is the classic, don't build a bridge, ask how you cross a river. So in Los Angeles, we were looking at this issue of homelessness in the downtown area. And instead of going in and saying, okay, we're going to design a really cool pod for people living on the streets to live in, we ended up setting up an initiative called Abject Object. And this is an enterprise that teaches job skills and that creates revenue streams for individuals living in homeless shelters through the design and production of a really cool limited edition of retail goods. So this is Carol. She's one of the project participants. This is in 5 different shelters, and Carol lives in one of them. And she was one of the co-designers of this really cool bag that turns into a hammock. And she helps with the production, and she's now seeing profits from that production. So the second thing is that we work with and not for. And what this means is we don't work for clients. We work with our partners and with end users. And we do this for a couple of reasons. We do this because we don't know everything and we need to listen first. We do this because we want to have great feedback loops and relationships with users so we can measure the impact better down the line. And we do this because we want everyone to have an ownership and a stake in the process. So in Mexico, we designed this system, a really simple desk, frame, and tabletop for a rural school. And we invited all the parents and the students and the teachers to come out and to collectively reimagine what their educational spaces looked like through the reconfiguration of these really simple desks. And then we like to start locally. We start with single self-initiated case studies, but the ultimate goal is global scalability and adaptability. And this is what we're struggling with right now. This is our next challenge, and this is what we could use some help with. So this is one of those projects. This is the learning landscape. It's a really, really simple idea. It's an educational playground that helps kids learn math through activity and competition. So this is the Katamba AIDS Orphan School in Uganda. I was there, a team of designers. We worked directly with the teachers to develop this product, or this system. And it works really simply. We did it in this pilot installation, and it has since been installed, 5 more of them in the Dominican Republic and also in North Carolina. So it's a really simple grid of reclaimed tires, either in 4x4 or 5x5 configuration, buried in the ground. You can use chalk to write numbers on the tires, and then the teachers can facilitate a number of games using this workbook that we've created, teaching everything from 2 + 2 up to basic algebra. And we're just now starting to see the impact of this. The teachers are reporting higher test scores, the kids love playing the games, and they have a greater comfort level with the material. They don't hate math anymore. So we want to build 500 more of these, and we want to understand the metrics, what are the best metrics for measuring the impact within public school systems. And we also want to use the learning landscape as a launch pad for creating a bigger suite of educational offerings for innovative instruction. And we actually have the opportunity to do that right now with a really great school district in North Carolina, where we've built 4 of the learning landscapes. So we're starting to work with them on this broader educational offering, starting with a concept for better computer labs, a spatial system that is rooted in active and networked learning. And then also next fall, fall 2010, we're setting up Studio H, which is a design build program for their high school. I'm actually moving down there to teach it myself and really starting to understand the connections between education and design. So as I said before, this is really the space that we are challenged with and where we could use your help. We need some help with business advising, and we need some help with legal support and strategic planning, and we need the input and interest and collaboration with teachers and with administrators and with funders. And this comes back to the core of what Project H is, which is really about creating a connection between this power of design and the places that don't have access to it. And I think that with your help, we can start to invest in some of these key educational initiatives that really have the potential for real and meaningful impact. Thank you.